You've heard it all before, right? Grind harder, sleep less, sacrifice everything. It's the whole mantra of hustle culture. But what if I told you that all that popular advice isn't just wrong for you as a professional? What if it's actually sabotaging your career? Well, today, we're going to deconstruct that entire idea and show you a much better way.
I mean, this is the anthem of hustle culture. It's plastered everywhere. And look, it's designed to sound super motivating. It celebrates ambition, it celebrates pure effort, and on the surface, it really feels like the only way to get ahead, because it's what everyone seems to be shouting from the rooftops.
But see, here's the thing. For someone who's already an established professional, someone like you, this one-size-fits-all advice, it doesn't just fall flat. It can actually lead you straight into burnout, stall your progress, and do some serious damage to your career. Now, let's be really clear about something. The problem here isn't about working hard. You're a professional. You already know how to work hard. The real problem, the one that changes everything, is that hustle culture completely ignores the single most important factor there is, your context.
And this, right here, is the fundamental flaw. It's what makes it a seductive lie. It's so tempting because it boils down success to just one simple thing: raw effort. But your reality, your life, is way more complex than that. And that simple assumption just completely shatters the second it comes into contact with a real professional's career.
So why does it shatter? Why does it fall apart? Well, it's because this advice was never, ever designed for you in the first place. Nope, it was designed for someone else entirely. Just look at this breakdown. It shows you the huge mismatch. On the left, you see who hustle culture is really for: beginners, entrepreneurs just starting out, people with very little to lose. The cost of failure is low. But on the right, well, that's a professional's reality. That's probably your reality. You have an established career, high responsibilities, a reputation to protect. For you, the cost of failure is significant, and that changes the entire game.
And that's the crucial point. When you follow hustle advice, like say, sacrificing sleep for a week, it doesn't just make you tired. In your world, it directly tanks your performance, it clouds your judgment, and it damages your reputation at a job where those things are literally your currency. The ripple effects are real, and they can be incredibly costly.
So this mismatch, it leads to some very real, very tangible harm. Applying this kind of advice isn't just a waste of time for a professional, it actively works against you. Let's dig into the flawed logic and see exactly why it backfires so badly.
Okay, the central promise of hustle culture is so simple. More hours in equals more success out. But for the kind of mentally demanding work that professionals do, work that relies on focus, creativity, strategy, and judgment, that's just not true. In fact, it's dangerously naive. After a certain point, more hours just lead to lower quality work, not more success.
And this brings us to one of its most toxic ideas. You know the feeling? You're exhausted, you're drained, completely overwhelmed. Hustle culture looks at you and says, that's a personal failing. You're weak. You just don't want it badly enough.
But we need to redefine that right now. Burnout is not a moral failing. It is a system signal. It's your body and your mind screaming at you that the demands you're facing have completely outstripped your ability to recover. For a professional, ignoring that signal is like a pilot ignoring a stall warning. It's that dangerous.
And the harm just keeps piling up. You start confusing just being busy with actually making progress. You completely ignore the fact that those extra hours are giving you worse and worse results. And maybe worst of all, you start to tie your entire identity to how productive you are, feeling guilty anytime you even think about resting. It's a perfect recipe for a miserable career.
This right here, this is the professional's truth. The absolute top performers in any high-stakes field you can think of. We're talking surgeons, elite athletes, top executives. They all understand this. Recovery isn't a luxury you get when the work is done. It is a non-negotiable part of the work itself. It's a strategic tool for excellence.
Okay, so we've pretty much torn down the whole myth of hustle culture. Now, let's build something much better in its place. Let's talk about the alternative, a playbook that's designed specifically for a professional's reality.
And that really is the critical question, isn't it? If mindlessly grinding for more hours is the wrong path, then what is the right one? What does a sustainable, truly ambitious career actually look like day to day?
First things first, the opposite of hustle is not laziness, not at all. The alternative is about being strategic. It's about shifting your entire focus away from maximizing your endurance and toward applying one powerful concept: leverage.
This table really lays out the new way of thinking. You see, the hustle approach is all about endurance, constant motion, and just maximizing hours. But the professional approach, it's about leverage, intentional outcomes, and managing your energy, not just your time. You see rest for what it is, a performance tool. This is the fundamental shift from just working harder to working smarter.
And this is so important to get. Real progress isn't always a flurry of activity. Sometimes, the single most productive thing you can do is pause, say no to something to protect your focus, or step back to completely rethink your strategy. That's not weakness, my friend. That is leadership.
And if you take one thing away, let it be this. This isn't about giving up on your ambition. It's about choosing a smarter, more sustainable kind of ambition. It's about building a career that energizes you for the long haul, not one that just leaves you as a pile of ash in a year or two.
So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. When you look at your own approach, are you building a career that compounds over time, where your skills and energy grow? Or are you on a path that just leads to burnout? The choice, ultimately, is yours to make.